Welcome to the World News on Anna 103.5 FM. I am Seun Oyelowo. First, the headlines. Nigeria Senate braces for showdown as Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan plans return to plenary today. Police rescue 35 hostages in Niger State operations. On the African scene, 10 dead, dozens injured in Kenya anti-government protest. On the foreign scene, the toll in the Texas flooding has reached over 80, many still missing. President Donald Trump threatens extra 10% tariff on nations siding with BRICS. In business, International Monetary Fund (IMF) urges Nigeria to strengthen social safety net amid economic reforms. And in sport, Maresca to be without two key Chelsea players against Fluminense FC. Now the news in details. A potential showdown is brewing at the Senate as suspended lawmaker Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has threatened to attend today's plenary session. This comes after the court judgment reaffirmed her position in the Senate. Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan expressed her gratitude to her constituents for their support and stated that she intends to resume for legislative activities today. However, the Senate leadership is bracing for a confrontation and has insisted that it will not take any official action on the matter until it reviews the certified true copy of the court's pronouncement. In a statement, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, explained that the Senate has filed a formal application to obtain the certified true copy of the court's ruling. At least 35 kidnapped victims, including women and children, have been rescued by security operatives in Niger State. The victims who were abducted from various communities in Niger State and even as far as Taraba State had been held captive for over a year. According to the Niger State Police Command, the rescue operations was carried out following intensified operations targeting criminal elements relocating from the Beningwari forest in Kaduna State. Police tactical team intercepted a vehicle along the Madaka-Makajuri Road, where they found some of the victims being conveyed to Yauri in Kebbi State. The driver of the vehicle, Yusuf Abdullahi from Beningwari, was arrested on the spot, while the victims were safely rescued and taken to a medical facility for treatment. They have been reunited with their family members. The Niger State Police Command has launched further investigation to track down other fleeing kidnappers and ensure the safe recovery of additional victims in captivity. In a related development, the police have arrested 8 suspected kidnappers in a series of coordinated intelligence-led operations across Delta, Katsina, Adamawa, and Edo states. And on the African scene, at least 10 people have been killed in protests in Kenya, according to the state-run Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. The protest, which marked the 35th anniversary of the historic Saba Saba protest, have been ongoing since last year and are calling for anti-government reforms. police opened fire on demonstrators in Nairobi, with a medic confirming that two bodies were taken to a local hospital with gunshot wounds. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has accused the police of using excessive force, collaborating with armed gangs, and conducting abduction of at least two persons. The police have all denied these allegations. The protests have spread to 17 counties across Kenya, with clashes reported in parts of Nairobi. The situation in Kenya remains tense, with the government urging calm and restraint. And on the foreign scene, at least 100 people are dead and many still missing in Texas flood disaster. The death toll from flash floods that struck central Texas on Friday has now climbed to more than 100 people, and an unknown number of others are still missing. Search and rescue teams are wading through mud-piled riverbanks as more rain and thunderstorm threatens the region. Camp Mystic, a Christian all-girls summer camp, confirmed that at least 27 girls and staff were among the dead. At least 84 of the victims died in Kerr County, where the Guadalupe River was swollen by torrential downpours. The White House has rejected suggestion that budget cuts at the National Weather Service could have inhibited the disaster response. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt described the flood as an act of God and emphasized that the National Weather Service did its job by issuing early and consistent warnings. The United States President Donald Trump has warned countries that side with the BRICS alliance against United States interests that they will face an additional 10% tariff increase. Trump has long been critical of BRICS, which includes China, Russia, and India. The U.S. had set a July 9 deadline for countries to agree on a trade deal, but officials now say tariffs will begin on the 1st of August. Donald Trump plans to send letters to countries informing them of the tariff rate if any agreement isn't reached at the end of the deadline. In business, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has raised concerns about Nigeria's lack of robust social safety net to protect poor Nigerians from the adverse effect of ongoing economic reforms. According to the IMF, although Nigeria has made progress with recent reforms, poverty and food insecurity remains widespread, posing a risk to inclusive growth. The IMF noted that the Bola Tinubu administration inherited challenging economy marked by weak growth, falling per capita income, and rising poverty. Between 2014 and 2023, Nigeria's real per capita GDP declined by an average of 0.7% annually, with the poverty rate at 42% in 2023. However, the government has embarked on bold economic reforms, including liberalizing the foreign exchange market and removing fuel subsidies. The IMF urged the Nigerian government to ensure that financial savings from the fuel subsidy removal are channeled into priority investment that have direct benefits to our citizens. And in sport, Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca will be without two key players against Fluminense when both sides clash in the Club World Cup semi-finals tie today. The two Chelsea players, who are defender Levi Colwill and striker Liam Delap, were suspended for the game after picking up their second yellow cards of the tournament against Palmeiras, meaning that they can't both play against Fluminense. Speaking at the pre-match interview, Maresca suggested that new signing João Pedro will replace Delap in the striking position, fueling further speculation that Nicolas Jackson's future at Chelsea is so bleak. Before we end the world news, here is a recap of the highlights. Senate braces for showdown as suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan plans return today. Police rescue 35 hostages in Niger State operation. And we told you on the African scene that at least 10 people have died and dozens injured in Kenya anti-government protests. On the foreign scene, over 100 people are reportedly dead and many still missing in Texas flood. United States President Donald Trump strengthens extra 10% tariff on nations siding with BRICS. In business, IMF urges Nigeria to strengthen social safety net amid economic reforms. And finally, in sport, Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca to be without two key players against Fluminense FC tie. And that was the world news as edited by Adedamola Saka. I am Seun Oyelowo. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.